I know my chance with her is blown, but my mouth gets carried away. I'm tongue-tied, 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 tongue-tied. I get tongue-tied.
So over the holiday weekend, UFC President Dana White and his wife Ann got into an altercation at a bar in Mexico. He went to say something to her, and then she just turned around and slapped him. And so he slapped her back, and now everybody's mad. And honestly, I don't know why, because as far as I'm concerned, it was a deserved slap. Now, people are going to probably get mad at that because they say, oh, it's a woman, you shouldn't slap women, blah, 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 blah. And this is the same argument that came up when many years ago when the Rihanna and Chris Brown thing happened, where they were in a car and she's messing with his phone. She starts scratching at him while he's trying to drive, and then he slaps her back, and then everybody's mad at Chris Brown. And this is the problem I have in general. The idea that women who are smaller and less strong than us know that society is going to punish men a lot more if they retaliate, and they're aware that most men know this and aren't going to try to slap them back if they try to hit first. And so when this kind of stuff happens where, oh, I'm going to just decide to slap my extremely tall and muscular husband, comes out that she assumes nothing's going to happen. He's not going to do it back. And this just speaks to how little that women know about how men operate. Like, they don't like getting hit themselves, first of all, but this whole part right here, this is all very thin muscles and very sensitive stuff, and there's jaw lines and teeth, and getting hit never feels good to anybody. But in guy world, if it hadn't been his wife, if it had been a 5'2" guy walking up to this 6' something guy with muscles and slapping him in the face, and then he decided to slap back, everybody would be like, well, yeah, that was justified because this guy came up to this dude and slapped him. But suddenly it's a woman who should have known not to hit a guy or anybody in general that's bigger than her, and all of a sudden people lose their mind on the guy and saying he should be fired for his job and yada, yada, yada. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's ever been fair. The worst punishment, or the most undeserved punishment I feel like I ever got in my lifetime from my dad, rest in peace, was when I was 8 years old. And I was at a summer camp that was, he was in the Army. So there was a summer camp near the Army that I would go to. And so I'm in this class one day, and this girl comes up to me out of nowhere and just spits on me. And I was livid. And I think at that point we had a fire drill we had to do. So as we were walking outside, I go up to her and I literally, on her arm, did this. Like that, and a little bit of spittle came out. And when I tell you, this girl started crying, started bawling, you spit on me, oh my God. And she was just crying nonstop for like 5 minutes. And I'm like, this girl just spit on me. What the freak? Would you believe this summer camp called my dad from his job? He came over to the summer camp and scolded me and then put me on punishment for a week. All because, and then made me go back to the class and apologize to the girl for spitting on her. So at 8 years old, I'm already getting this lesson of it's not going to be fair. Women can do whatever they want to you, and you gotta just take it and not react. And I get in that moment, and in hindsight, it's like he's trying to teach me for how society's gonna be, where it's basically like, if you do things to women, even if it's justified, the reality is society's not gonna see it like that, and you're gonna be in trouble. And so that's what I've seen play out in my lifetime when these kind of things happen, where the woman will start the incident, and then the guy will retaliate. And by the way, I know there are women out there that are thinking, oh, he should be able to, and men too, thinking, oh, he should be able to self-control himself and yada, yada, yada. I don't think people are aware of how much our lizard brains actually control us. Like, we take these lessons on things and how to be more proper and prim, but when, naturalistic attacks are happening to us, our first instinct is to go back to our natural brain and say, somebody's slapping me, I now gotta fight for my honor and fight for my safety because this person might actually try to kill me, regardless of who's doing the hitting. So you get hit, your first brain's thinking, I see a hand, I got hit, it's time to fight. And then your brain after that thinks, oh crap, it's a woman. And by then it's too late. So why am I bringing all this stuff up? Because this is a dating show for you guys, and I really try to strive to do the best I can to see to it that you guys, become the men that you guys need to be in order to get the kind of women that you want, but also to be aware of the kind of woman you should be dating the kind of woman you should be getting married to, and looking out for any potential red flags, okay? So, unfortunately, this dude's been married for 30 years to this woman, so I can't say to him, hey, you should have dated better. They met when they were like 12 years old, so that's a little hard fought. But for you guys are going out there meeting women and going on dates, and some of you are seeing red flags and ignoring them, or you're getting into confrontations with your, at the moment, girlfriend that are getting a little more hyped up. Like ideally, you're the kind of guy that's learned to have emotional intelligence and self-control, and you know how to actually sit down and have a conversation with women, and you're able to hear criticisms and not have your ego involved and really be there for your woman. So ideally, you're that kind of guy. If you're that kind of guy and you're with a woman that's yelling at you, that is over-talking you, that has at times threatened to raise hands to you or told you stories in the past about men that she dated where she just slapped them in the face for doing X, Y, and Z, understand that that's going to become a major problem later. And if you can help it, get out now. Because those kind of women are the kind that, they just assume that you're not going to do anything. And also, they're the kind that are willing to go the full distance of doing some kind of abuse to you. Or if you happen to retaliate, will easily call the cops on you and say it was your fault and she's hurt and she'll put on the whole crying face. And unfortunately, most cops are dudes, and most dudes are sensitive to when women are crying. They're gonna believe her first, way before they believe your side of the story. Like if Dana had called the cops and said, hey, my wife is hitting me, they'd have looked at her with her short little frame and then looked at him with his extra tall height and his muscles and been like, sir, get over it. It's just a woman. The slap probably felt like nothing to you. Like move on, guy. What are you doing? And that's the kind of response you can expect in general from if a woman happens to slap you that you're dating. So really understand, guys, there are women out here that have taken no lessons from, if they hit a guy, that something's gonna happen. Most of them are taught like, hey, men aren't supposed to hit women. And then a lot of women will think like, and so that's a free for all for me to be able to slap the guys that I'm dating if they act out in a way that I don't want them to. Now, also to the point, in this case, they say alcohol was involved. They were drinking a lot. I personally I seldom drink these days. Like occasionally if I go out to a restaurant, I might have like a glass of something, or if I go to a bar, I might get like a cocktail, but I've really significantly lessened, like I was never a big drinker in the first place. I grew up with like juices and teas and stuff. But the point is that unfortunately, alcohol can play a lot into these decisions. The alcohol played into his wife's decision to hit him. And so that's something that you as a man have to monitor. You have to monitor, how much you're doing when you're drinking, because you don't want to be out of the frame of mind where you can't control the situation that's going on. And then also, really importantly, is that most women are looking for you to be the leader, and so most women will follow your lead. If you're a guy that's just haphazardly drinking all the time, your wife over time can start to also be that kind of person. And this isn't to say that there's not some form of agency that she should have over herself in terms of her drinking, but it is saying that you shouldn't be putting yourself in environments where that kind of stuff can happen in the first place, nor should you be associating with people that are gonna be heavily drinking like that, because the cops don't care. When the cops come to the bar and you guys both have bruises on your face and you're like, well, we were drinking, so it should be okay. The cops don't care. All the cops care about is that there's now an abused woman in the presence, and you're in trouble because you're the guy and you're stronger, all right? So guys, all this to say, be mindful of your drinking habits and be mindful of the kind of women that you're allowing yourself to date and have in your circle, because when the cards fall off the table, you're gonna be the one that is held responsible for everything. If she started the fight, if she came to you and hit you and spit you and kicked you and called you a bunch of names and then you hit her back, all anybody's gonna see is that you hit her back. And there are some women that are gonna test you on that. There are some women that come from abusive households where that's all they saw. And so part of them is thinking, in order for the guy to love me, he has to hit me or be abusive in some way. Those women are damaged, do not date them. And this is why I tell you guys also learn to be more indifferent to things, because we don't want you to be the emotional one or have the emotional reaction when a woman is acting out on you, okay? And to this guy, like, I'd be like, look, if she hit me because alcohol's involved, I automatically have us into like a double alcohol anonymous thing to get better. Because at 30 years, you're not gonna realize, like if you're dating a woman and you told me, hey, Harry, my girlfriend just hit me in the face, I'd be like, leave now. With marriage and kids, it's a lot harder, but I would say, hey, go to alcohol counseling, go to family counseling, see what kind of issues you guys may have that aren't fully resolved, and then see if this thing can be salvaged. But that is not something you should ever accept as a guy. That doesn't mean you need to retaliate when women hit you, but it does mean you need to seriously consider if you want to stay with them if it happens. So that's just my 2 cents, but let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you think that Dana White, as the guy, shouldn't have hit her in the first place? Do you think that she was in the wrong? Where do you stand on this issue? I'd love to hear your comments. Leave them down below. Thanks for watching this show. As always, guys, if you have any questions you'd like answered on one of these shows, write to me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. Or if you're going through a situation that maybe you need coaching on, I offer one-on-one coaching. Go to introvertdatingsuccess.com/coaching to sign up for that today. And of course, if you really want to learn the full scope about how to date, how to meet, greet, attract, and land the right sane kind of woman, go to Introvert Dating Success and sign up for the Membership Academy today, all right? Thanks for watching. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm. Oh, yeah.